Okay, here I go. That was terrible. All right, I'm finally live. I'm still trying to get a hold of how to run StreamYard. Let's see if I can go through it and learn how to do this better. Still trying to get used to this stuff. Okay, so layout. Okay. All right. Well, for those of you who just came or coming through, thanks for joining me. I see we have a couple people already on. That's great. And eventually, I'm gonna have this set up. I'm gonna start bringing people on to get in the conversation. So, what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about women. We're going to talk about how women are an integral part and how there's very important. They have a lot to give to us in general. However, the feminization of the United States and honestly the rest of a lot of the rest of the world is part of the problem. And I'm not talking about necessarily the feminine leadership, but the feminine thought process. A lot of times you can't think of running and leading in a feminine fashion. A lot of times you got to be a little bit, because women are known for being more caring, more compassionate, and wanting more people to enjoy themselves and more people to uh, be able to get along. That's where this whole thing with equity and all that stuff is comes from. It comes from women wanting things to be better for everybody. They want to have less losers, but that will result in less winners. And that's what's happening now in the United States. And what I wanted to talk about starting out, I wanted to talk about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, that stuff is getting crazy. This is it's wild how she lit up she's lighting up the WNBA. People are watching the WNBA for the first time, and they don't want to highlight her like she should be highlighted. Now, these hard fouls and stuff like that, that's not what I'm talking about. I think that's a little weird, but I'm talking about the big thing is not being on the Olympic team. That's just stupid. That's stupid, stupid, stupid. Stephen A. Smith actually talked about it. And I don't usually like to quote Stephen A. Smith or say Stephen A. Smith and I agree on something, but I agree completely with Stephen A. Smith where he was saying it's about business. This is about business right now. This isn't about winning the gold. Because if you take anybody off that one person off that team completely and they're shorthanded by one player, they're still going to win gold. They they don't lose. And Caitlin Clark is not going to make them make them lose or bring them closer to losing. It's just the score may be a little bit different, maybe even not. But to you want to ride this wave. This is a serious wave they need to ride, and they're not doing it. So I'm so surprised to see. See, I thought I understood why the WNBA was doing so poorly, and I was wrong. It's so many more reasons. It's so many more reasons, and they don't know how to do business. That's the bottom line. They don't know how to do business. They don't know how to ride the wave that they have in front of them, and they could be making so much more money. All right, let's talk about before we get really started. We got to talk about what we're engaging in. This is the Charles Walhingford channel. So in Charles Walhingford channel, we have spirits and we have cigars. So we got the cigar today is the vintage Cameroon H. Upman Vintage Cameroon. This is not the Cuban H. Upman. It wouldn't look like this, but this is the H. Upman Cameroon. I usually shy away from brands that share a Cuban name or it was originally from Cuba, or maybe a lot of times they left Cuba, the original brand left Cuba and decided to branch off on their own. I usually leave those brands alone. I don't like to like Monte Cristo. I don't like any Monte Cristo that's not a Cuban Monte Cristo. So this H. Upman is not usual for me. Not usual for me at all. Hold on a second. I forgot to get a glass. Gross. I don't know if you heard that, but I have my youngest son home from school. School's out for the summer, and he's training to be a better soccer player. So he went on a run, and if you know anything about boys are dirty. So I got my cutter, Cigar, and a Cigar lighter. Yeah, so back to the women and the first subject matter, Caitlin Clark. Like I didn't give two craps about women's basketball until she came on the scene, and that's this year. I didn't watch her last year. I didn't watch her till this year. People were talking about her last year, but I was like, this women's basketball, so I don't have to worry about women's basketball. But as time went on, I kept seeing her. I was like, let me check her out. I'm like, wow, she is really, really talented. Really talented. No, don't get me wrong. It's still women's basketball. It is still women's basketball. So it's not the best. But now it's you can watch it, I guess. Now, if you stop by, make sure you say hello. Don't forget to hit the like button and let me know you're here. Leave a comment. We can and help keep this video going. We're gonna talk about what's going on in the world, but yeah, it's amazing how we try so hard to make women's basketball what better than what it is, and we're doing a bad job because of them. They don't want to be better. They don't want to do the right thing. It's absolutely amazing how much they want to sabotage themselves. Now, maybe the hard fouls are a part of it, but I'm just talking about just the vitriol these women have. Well, what it is, guys, I think this is my side of it. This is what I think. I think by the WNBA being so lesbian heavy, they're worried. They're worried that they're about to lose their job. And what people don't want to realize, what women don't want to realize, what the players don't want to realize, men don't want to watch women unless there's some sense of attraction. Like you think of any other sport, diving, beach volleyball, tennis, the women are very, uh, they're a lot of times they're attractive. They're very feminine in the delivery of the product. WNBA is that's not the case. It looks like 13-year-old boys playing high level 13-year-old boys that are okay. That's what it looks like with wigs. That's what the WNBA for the most part looks like. Somebody like Kelsey Plum, if I'm saying it right, she should be. You know, we're worried about Caitlin Clark. Honestly, she should be the face of the WNBA. That's who should be the face of the WNBA. So we got we'll do a watch check here. I know you guys are interested. Now, because of what time it is, you can't see. There's Muli Glass Hute. This is one of my favorite micro brands and one of my favorite watches. I love this watch, and it's super, super comfortable. Super comfortable. But yeah, I can't. I'm just so surprised that the WNBA doesn't understand what actually moves the needle. How their market, the people who have in marketing, won't tell them the truth. It's very similar to what's going on in Disney, Disney and Marvel and Star Wars. You have too many people, too many women in charge, too many lesbian women in charge with an agenda. Until instead of telling a story that is similar to what got people there in the first place, they want to tell a whole different story to a demographic that doesn't exist. That's not you don't make money like that. You need to make money, and you have to have your demographic identified and say these are the people who I want to cater to, who would like this product, who liked this product before. That's not the case. Disney is just throwing money away, and it's so scary and so frightening, and it's frustrating. If you've seen me before, I've talked good about Disney, and I've loved Disney for years. I can't, man. They have royally screwed this one up. They absolutely have. Now, with back to the cigar, is this vintage Cameroon. Now, a lot of you may have seen cigars that have these sleeves on it, and these cedar sleeves. If you buy a new cigar, it doesn't mean anything. Des, hey, how are you? Okay, Des, I don't know. I, I don't know. When was this? I don't remember this situation or April Fools or I was going to take the video down. But anyway, hello. Thanks for coming. And since you're live, that's we'll maybe address it right now and see what you're talking about. I'm not sure what you're talking about, and if it's a while ago, I definitely don't remember. But you have to refresh my memory. 4 years ago. Okay, was you know the name of the video? What was the name of the video? And was it under Des Farrell? Was your name Des Farrell in the video, or was something else? Regardless, thanks for coming. But yeah, let me know what you're talking about, and if anybody else knows what he's referring to, that'd be cool. Unless it was the worst cigar reviewers or cigar channels on YouTube. Maybe it was that video. If it was that video, yeah, that was very much a everybody that was featured on that. I felt the opposite of, and I said that at the end of the video too. But yeah, I think that may be what it was. Let me finish what I was saying about the vintage Cameroon. If you ever get a chance to get the vintage Cameroon, I would get it. But I've made videos about these sleeves before. They don't taste as good right away. If you allow the oils to really merge in with the wrapper, it changes the cigar completely. You will really like this cigar. You would really like this cigar. I highly recommend it. And one of the best pound for pound spirits you could have is aged rum. This is the Kirk and Sweetney Grand Reserva Supreme, a Superior. There's a couple of there's a Grand Reserva, then there's the Grand Reserva Superior, and the Superior it's a little bit better. They're all aged rums, and I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's what. Okay, that was it. What did you? Were you under that name, Des? Because I know I didn't say Des because I remember making a video because it was very popular. I don't remember it being you as your name. But yeah, like I said, if you watch that video at the very end, every single one of those people I really like. And then on top of that, I'm literally was friends with three of them still right now. So, and I mean, like outside of YouTube world, I became friends with them because of YouTube, but I ended up staying friends or being friends. Oh, okay, I got it. I got it. Yeah, yeah, man. A lot of people got mad. Like, I wish I would have done a live video. I wish I would have kept some of the comments because a lot of people, you guys didn't see it as a whole. If you go back and see that video and look in the comments, it was a ton more comments than that. There's a ton of comments. But a lot of people were embarrassed and pulled their comment down because they went nuts. And I said, "Did you watch the whole video? Did you watch the whole video?" Or perfect example, who was it? I can't remember. My brain's not working right now. A few of the people who I actually were talking about were in the comment section laughing at the joke because I actually continued it on with other videos at the end. Well, I'm good. Hey, Geraldo, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. And I'm sorry I'm not doing cigar content as much. And we'll get back on the subject of the day. But I don't know if I broke it down to a lot of you who watched, or I may have, but in YouTube where it's important to repeat what's going on, repeat what you're saying, repeat your thoughts, and I'm gonna repeat why I stopped doing the cigar content. And a lot of guys are saying, hey, especially on the last live video I did, they say, hey, you got to come back, you got to come back. I'm not coming back. For how much time and effort and literally money it takes to make these videos, Um, this doing a live video isn't too much time consuming. I'm sitting there having cigars with my friends right now. That's really all I'm doing. But with the making the review videos and everything else, it takes a lot of time. It takes a whole lot of time. And what YouTube does not like is cigar content. Like people are saying, oh no, it's not like that anymore. It is still like that. The difference is once you get to a certain level, as soon as I hit 10,000 subscribers, it started going crazy. I start getting, I never got a full on strike, but I got what they call a warning. I got videos removed, and I've got all kinds of things happen to me. Not until I hit 10,000 subscribers. They didn't want to show a lot of my videos. And then if you look up, I've even tried to look myself up before on certain videos, and I am way at the bottom, and they don't want my content out. YouTube does not want my content out for some of the things I talk about. And if it's cigars, if it's alcohol, or the content that I talked about with the books and things that I've been reading. Yeah, they don't want it. They don't want it. And I got too frustrated, and it's not worth me doing it. I know with the other channel, I'm not going to get as many viewers and views and everything else. However, I know why, because it's not a big subject. But this is a big subject. But but YouTube will cut you down at your knees once you get somewhat popular. So once I hit 10,000, it all went sideways. Actually, no, Matt. If you look at my watch videos destroy my cigar videos. My watch videos, I have 100,000 on some, 50,000 on some, 200,000 on some. My watch videos are way bigger. I'd stop liking the watch community. I love the cigar community. The people are so much better, but YouTube doesn't like it. The watch community, the watch people, they can be somewhat hard to deal with. And I even had a stalker. Like he wasn't a full-on stalker where he came to my door or nothing, because you would saw me on the news. But he wouldn't leave me alone. He followed me from channel to channel, video to video, talking about something that he didn't like I said, and it was all about watches. It was all about watches. The watch community, they when it goes bad for them, it goes real bad. Exactly. Does not like. I mean, he faced the same thing, but he faced it first. He was the first person to face the um the issues with YouTube and cigar community. If you guys watch my video, check it out. The the cigar has a bad name because of cigarettes. The cigarette companies want people to think cigars and cigarettes are no different, so you may as well just smoke a little itty bitty cigarette. Where cigars, that's not the case. It's not the case at all. Number one, nicotine is not stable. What does that mean? Nicotine loses its potency. What does that mean? That means what's supposed to be the cancer causing chemical can die off. And of course, nobody wants me to say that out loud, and I won't mention that for a while. And that's one of the videos that they didn't like. That they said, okay, they didn't strike it, but they took off my ability to make money off of it. So if you see a commercial in that video, I don't get anything from that. These are the videos. They did not like how I talked about how it's a scam and it's not true. And I did the good research on cigarettes and cigars, and they YouTube did not like that at all. But most likely because they're in cahoots. Because we found out Facebook for sure was in bed with the FBI and CIA. So it's not hard to believe that a company, a a, not company, but industry could be in bed with YouTube too, or they just completely captured that they don't get that there's a difference between cigars and cigarettes. So yeah, I'm smoking the vintage Cameroon. It came in this heater sleeve, and I'm drinking the Kirk and Sweetney Grand Reserve Superior. This stuff is real good and it's not terribly expensive. It is super high quality. I would give it around like if the smoothness of something that's XO in in cognac, an 18-year in Scotch, and the smoothness of that type of drink, or a extra añejo in tequila. But yeah, guys, if you can, make sure you hit the like button. Also, leave in the comment section just to say hello if you don't have anything to say. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about, and again, what I was saying, this being just having a conversation with my friends on in the virtual cigar lounge, is women in the United States and Western countries where we've lost our way because we've been too feminized, and it's part of the reason why women don't like men. Women can't trust men because women have been training in raising men, and women shouldn't be raising men. And so what happens? Women will end up training men to be the women. I mean, be the men that other women don't want. I don't know if it's by design or accident, but that takes place. However, there is a woman. I was listening to the Jordan Peterson podcast, and you can also watch it on YouTube right now. It is. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, her name is Catherine Birbalsingh. Catherine Birbalsingh. If you can look her up, she's known as the strictest head mistress, I guess, in England. You would call that a principal, but the head mistress in the UK, and she is a breath of fresh air. Oh my God, she really attacks what's wrong with this country, but it's in England too. So it's not just the United States. Pretty much any state that's similar. I mean, any country that's similar to England is, or similar to the United States, is similar to in other places where they're having problems. Like a lot of countries are having issues with immigration. A lot of countries have issues with again, women and men. But one of the things that was a breath of fresh air that I wanted to say that we have an issue with in the United States is patriotism. And if you don't have some commonality, some of us can be Muslim, some of us can be Christian, some of us can be uh, Native American, some of us can be Asian, and any other races that we are, but is we should be still under an umbrella of being American. And we have really lost that. And she sees it also in England that they're not as patriotic as they should be. And they, she really makes that a pillar of her school. And so they're required to sing their national anthem in the mornings. They for the king's birthday, they had a celebration, and they had a watch party for soccer or football, and they really bring each other together, and that's what's missing in the United States big time. We don't do that stuff like we should at all. We don't like, it's even like it's so crazy. We somehow we make things, we bring up racism and say racism is still alive and everything else because we keep talking about racism. And what's the new thing, or one of the new things, that the American flag is racist? What? What? But yeah, you will see and hear young people talking about the American flag is racist. That is absolutely ridiculous. It is so frustrating to hear that bullshit. So frustrating. Hey guys, thanks for joining me. If you're coming in later, thanks for joining me. I know I don't put word out like I should. I don't have a regular schedule as far as doing this. I probably should start try and strive to. And if you're also interested, I still do make videos. I just don't make videos about cigars and distilled aged spirits. On my other channel, we talk about being I talk about marriage and being a man and image, as far as fashion and style and stuff like that. Where I bring forth my experience of how looking good can change a lot of things for you if you're not concentrating on it like you should. Yeah, Des, you're exactly right. Exactly right. It's unfortunate that we we were infiltrated like this, because what it is Marxism. Is Marxism. Marxism divides people. It's not about equality. It's always making somebody the bad guy and making somebody the oppressed and oppressors. No, it doesn't matter what you're doing, who you are, where you're at. You're being oppressed if you're black. You're the oppressor if you're white. And the thing that's crazy to me is, if anybody's ever seen it, I want you guys to check this out. This destroys my whole thing with, not to say, well, my thing with white supremacy and how people push white supremacy. They say all these white people are doing this, or if you do it right, it's because it's white, or if you do this something right, you're trying to be white, which is crazy. Look up soft white underbelly and the Whitakers of West Virginia. If you haven't seen the Whitakers of West Virginia, it will destroy anything you say. So if you ever look at them, there's this family of inbred West Virginians. They're white. They're not the one. They're not oppressing me. And they're not oppressing anybody. You got to check that out. And then I think Netflix has it. Another family called the Whites of West Virginia. That talk about a train wreck. You like watching? You looking at a train wreck? That's a train wreck. Oh my god. Hey, golf. Thanks for stopping by. And what do you mean by FBA? I'm not familiar with that term. That's a new term for me. Maybe you'll teach me something today. Well, I've watched Jen Sense. I've watched Jen Sense. I like his expertise, but my only criticism on him is the way he dresses. To me, he dresses way too drab to be into image. He really cares about image. When you're wearing a nice fragrance, it keeps people around you. It makes it. It's a very important thing. I'm big on fragrances in that sense, where it's a strategic way to keep people comfortable in your space. It's a control thing, but not control in a negative way. You're just controlling your environment, and you want to make your environment really comfortable. And when you smell good, people like it. However, what I would say is um, that's the last part. The fragrance is the last part. Your outward appearance is the first part. And he to me, he should dress a little bit better if he's going to present that way. That's my only thing. But he's good. He's good. Oh, golf. Okay, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know if I. That would be an interesting subject to talk about with you. I don't fall completely in line with that belief, because a lot of people run with that belief that you know black people are the ones who built this country. Yes, you built it, and a whole bunch of other people built it too. Black people built it, and a whole bunch of other people built it. That's my thing. Like that means you're discrediting the Chinese, you're discrediting the Polish, you're discrediting the Irish, who were slaves also. The Native Americans, they were here first. They did a couple things too. So um, I don't know if this would be. No, we could talk about it on this channel. If I knew how to, I'm new with this. If I knew how to bring you on, I'd bring you on, and we would talk about it if you want to, or if you can send me an email, uh, Charles dot Walhingford at Gmail, and we can talk about the subject matter. The bottom line is we probably believe in very similar ways, but just like religion, it's little small things that we disagree on, and it that causes the problem. Unknown, thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming. Again, everybody who's came in, thanks for coming in. The golfs. Hey, I got a question for you. Did you see my video on Up from Slavery by Booker T. Washington? I did a review of cigars and books. Um, I talked about that gentleman who is it's a travesty that he's not mentioned, and I believe that he's not mentioned on purpose by a lot of people to include black people. But yeah, about that teacher, if you guys can take a chance to look at it, she is she's amazing. She's amazing because she caught a lot of flack, caught a lot of course, you know what comes with that when you start coming out with a answer, an answer. People want to call you all types of names. So she's been called everything up under the sun. Of course, she's been called a racist. She's been called this and that for making inner city poor kids, because that's what her school is. It's all inner city poor kids, all of them, 100%. Now, I can't say 100%, but majority of inner city poor kids, they all perform the best on their standardized tests. And if we didn't need that in the United States, I don't know what we need, because I live in Maryland. Right up the road from me is Baltimore. Baltimore, I don't know if it was in 20. I don't know about 2024, but 2023 and 2022, none of the kids were on in the public schools in Baltimore City. None, zero. None of the kids were on reading or math levels on their grade level. None of them. None of them. And I know that's not, it's not by accident. All this stuff is not by accident. That's the worst part about it. Most people don't understand this is by design. They're trying to, I believe they're trying to cull the herd. They're trying to cut down on what's going on, make problems. They're making problems so that we can ask the government, please come help us. So but we got to help ourselves. We absolutely got to help ourselves. No, what was the deal with that? I'm gonna have to look into that. Unknown is talking about something that recently happened where they found 215 missing bodies found stashed in mass graves in Mississippi prison. Ugh. Well, if you've watched any any movies, Mississippi, one would be the last places you ever want to have to go to prison. Ugh. A lot of times movies can be terribly inaccurate. Sometimes they're dead on, or they're not as accurate because it's way worse. It's way worse. It was not prisoners. Oh, what kind of people? What did they have in common? What was it about these people that they had in common? They obviously had to have something in common. My wife just got home. I had the day off, so that's why I'm able to do this with you guys right now. And make sure you put that in the comment section for me, unknown. I'm go ahead. I'm gonna make this one short. Everybody who came in and watched the video with me, thanks for coming. If you're interested in seeing or talking about other subject matter, let me know. Mm, that's wrong. Well, that's scary. But let me know what. Well, first, Des, I'm gonna answer this about Des, and I'm gonna go ahead and slow it down or cut it short. Cut the video not short, but cut the video off, and because I'm only gonna do about 45 minutes. But Des is asking, am I a fan of Jordan Peterson? Um, to me, Jordan Peterson is the. I don't want to call him Jesus, but he's our genius, of our genius, our superstar, far as intelligence and everything else of our time. You have some serious great people. He's one of them. He's absolutely one of them. I wasn't even. He has me thinking. I'm not a religious person. He has me thinking about being religious again. Yeah. So I am. Would you call it agnostic? I believe there's a God, but I'm not Christian. I'm not Muslim or anything like that. I believe in God, but I don't follow a lot of the because I grew up Catholic and I I can't get down with the Catholic Church at all right now, or probably until they change. But yeah, I love Jordan Peterson. I haven't completed 12 Rules for Life, but I've read quite a bit of it. It's actually hard to read. 12 Rules for Life is you got to have a serious vocabulary or have a dictionary ready because he is his book, that at least that book, he sounds like you're like I'm back in college again reading that book. Last thing, Frank, thanks for watching. Thanks for, and I'll mention the watch one more time. That's the Muli Glashooter. Marinus, it's a black on black. Love this watch. Love this company. It's a micro brand, but it's an older micro brand. They make really good watches. Very German. Very, very German. All right. You guys keep answering me questions to keep me going. I'm not going to stop until I answer all the questions. So let me answer the question Golf just hit me with. Um, uh, where'd you go? Where'd it go? Good cigar for someone who doesn't smoke but wants to celebrate the birth of a child. I don't I really can't. You would honestly you would get something. Go to a cigar lounge, but if you don't smoke cigars much, you won't be able to appreciate the cigar. You won't be able to appreciate the cigar um, if you don't smoke cigars a lot. So you got don't spend any real money on cigar. You buy the cheapest one you can at a cigar lounge. Don't go to a gas station or anything like that because those aren't actually cigars. So that would be my suggestion. I can't I can't recommend anything good because it'll be a waste of your money. Because there's some great cigars out there, even if they're not expensive, but it's still the cheaper cigars that a person would buy just for the birth of a child. You can get at a cigar lounge, and they'll sell you some cheap cigars that would be the best bet for you. A better cigar wouldn't do you any good if you don't like smoking cigars. Plus, it'll get you sick. Religion is good for society. Religion helps keep people. It's a lot of things that have been taken away that we don't realize that we used to do for our religion. And the big thing is community. Religion is very good for community. Religion is very good for lack of a better term, the soul. So, yeah, I definitely agree. We should have getting rid of religion isn't good because you're gonna worship something. That's what I've seen. That's what is going on right now when people can't can't agree with or understand what a woman is. That kind of thought process. That's a religious thought process. You're thinking religiously because you're not applying any science. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. That shit. That's crazy. Unknown. If you if you look in the comment section, boy, yeah, that's unfortunate. Exactly. I mean, that's my thing. Unknown. That's my thing. I I can't get down with the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is it lost me. They lost me big time. And then religion lost me because if you get into the religion, like really study religion, you'll see how much they overlap, and then you see how much they fight each other for no reason. They fight each other for no reason. And a good Catholic or a good Christian, a good Protestant, a good Christian, it's the same thing as a good Jew and a good Muslim. For those who don't know, a little anecdote I like to explain to people is there's a term called halal in Islam, and that is how meat is prepared and if it's properly been taken care of. Halal and the same thing in Judaism is kosher. Kosher and halal, as far as meat, exactly the same. Exactly the same. It's no different. When something is halal, it's also kosher. So it's things like that that kind of bother me about religion. But I understand the other sides of religion, all the positive points of religion. But not just the government in Baltimore covered it up, the government covered up, and the government across the world. In Spain, in Italy, in all types of places that it took place, and they covered it up. So it wasn't just in Baltimore, in United States, or what have you. It's across the world that this stuff took place, and And I just don't understand why they can't realize that a priest can be married. Because if you know anything about religion and Catholicism, this fly is killing me. There was absolutely married priests. Priests used to be able to get married, which is crazy. And Neo, hey, thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going ahead and call it. I'll see you next time. I have another something else. Again, I put out other new videos out on my other channel, Uncle Charles Walhingford. It's not about cigars, of course, but I'll be back with you guys another time. I'm so grateful to have you guys watch. I enjoyed doing this video. I'll see you next time. Unknown, what you got? One last thing. Yeah. Check out what he wrote. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. I'm Charles Walhingford. Well, Charles Walhingford. Charles Walhingford is, what's my old saying? This is how I spent my money on the Kirk and Sweeney and the H. Upman Vintage Cameroon. And Uncle Charles Walhingford would say, I'm just here to help. All right, guys. I'll see you.